Okay, just a real quick tip. I bought this Toast titanium cup. It came with this nifty little bag that I like because it keeps everything in there. But it came with this real wimpy string. And I don't like these little plastic things that are always, I don't know, I just don't like them. So I removed this, put some paracord, figure the weight difference is almost nothing. But this thing is so thin, there's no way I could put it here. Paracord, not even one strand of paracord will fit in this little tiny hole. But I don't like these things anyway. So I was, first I was doing this, the slip knot, which works fine. Of course, I tied this in a loop, but you'll see why I don't have it tied right now in a minute. So this works perfect. I don't need no stupid little plastic tool. But then I realized that if I just do an overhead knot here like you're tying your shoes, check it, it stays. So then we do a fisherman's bend to make it into a loop. Tight. Love this knot. Look at that. The way you know you did it right is you went one way on one side, the other way on the other, and you have these two parallel cords there, and you have these two nested into each other here real nice. You pull it tight, and now I just tie it like that. Tighten it like that, and I can do, I don't think it's even needed, but I can do the slip knot if you want to be extra secure. But if you see, it's not even needed now. Much easier, and all I did was a nice little overhand right here. That's all. Tighten it like that. Instead of pulling this way, tighten it like that. I could even make this shorter and just leave it like that. But if we want to be real secure about it, we do our little slip knot here. Pull on these two strands, not on the one that's slippery. There you have it. When you want to release, just pull here. Quick little tip. I hope you enjoy it. While we're here, I might as well show you my little stove setup. So I've made a bunch of alcohol stoves. Let me show you some of the ones I've made. This is with a larger beer can, capillary, real nice. I've done them with a pretty little hole cut out and the jets on the side. Like this one too. More capillary. See, with the crimson there. These are very fast, and but they're a bit of a pain in the butt to make, especially cutting this bottom because it's using two bottoms. So cutting this bottom out is a bit of a pain, and then the bending all those, and it's just a bit of a pain. I had a few more that I've given away. But funny enough, the one that I've stuck with is this one. It's simpler to make. Doesn't have the capillary bends in there, crimps. And it has the jets on the side, and it uses only one can. The top of the can and the bottom of the can. All of those use two bottoms. So you need two cans, which is not a problem. This one's a bit banged up, but this one is a little tiny bit slower than these with the capillary effect, and I think it's because this is a lot closer to the wall, which makes it heat up and go up faster, bloom faster. But this one blooms almost as fast as these capillary ones, and it's so much easier to make. You don't have to mess with this. I don't do any angles or anything. It fits right in, real easy. And I just added these little notches. I don't know if you can, hope you can see these little notches. Because, with these I have to have, they have the jets up here. So I have to have a little stand, which I don't like. And this is a real simple seat to elevate it just a little bit. And this is a real easy stand. Thick copper wire and some thin wire here. You can even do this part with paper clips. Straighten them out and then twist them around. And it works great, but if you make them with the jets on the side, like this one, jets on the side, you can lay the pot right on top, and it'll work. But for some reason, this one with the jets on the side, with this different top of the can, never have a problem. It works perfect. You're gonna see some pictures now. It works perfect. Now, let me show you what I've got here. This is my screen, made from 2 large Heineken cans. If you get one of those really big keg-looking cans, you could make it with only 1 can. But this uses 2. And I did here, I bent one this way and one that way, and just joined them like that. Like that. Pressed them together and then put aluminum tape. Ones I use for the AC ducts and stuff. And these circle holes so it gets some air from the bottom in case you want it real close together. I don't know if they really help. I just cut them with scissors. It's nothing fancy. They're not really perfectly round. And one thing I notice is that if I don't want it to close too much, it doesn't want to stay open. So what I do is I put 3 or 4 sticks in the ground, and the sticks hold it in place. It's that simple. So if I wanted it wider, you can just go like this, but if the wind is moving it or you want it to hold it in place, you can put sticks inside, and since it wants to close, that holds it in place. You could also put sticks on the outside if you wanted to, if it's very windy. But this thing weighs next to nothing, and it's really, really good. And it's the perfect size for this little stove, as you will see. So this is what I already showed you with a little improved string. This is one of those Tokes titanium 750 milliliters, which is all I need. And in here I have this, and I'm going to show you as well. This had a fork on this side that I never used the fork. This part works as a knife. I cut with this or with this side, but mostly with the top part. So I never needed the fork, and it didn't fit in here, so I just cut it with a Dremel and then sanded it nice and smooth. And this one is this, I think it's UCO brand. UCO, is it? I think it is UCO or UOO, I don't know. I bought it at Walmart for $9 and change. Titanium. It is beautiful, perfect. I love it. I have another one that I use every day to eat because I like this shape a lot. So this goes in there, and it fits with a lid. This, I know it's a lot heavier than a small Bic, but man, there's nothing like a torch lighter. And the reason I have a torch lighter, I also carry this just in case. Ferro rod with some hemp. I have in here, these are the normal 3M knockoff from the dollar store, and I cut it in 4 parts. I get from one large one, I get 4 of these. Keep it in there to clean. And then I have these little cotton balls dipped in petroleum jelly, Vaseline petroleum jelly. And these are just freaking awesome. You take one, you pull it apart, and the reason I got that is because I'm not using alcohol. I put this in another bag so it doesn't stink up or make this dirty. My little pot or cup, which is also my cup. I don't carry an extra cup. I used to have the Ember lights that you fold, but it's heavy and takes up a lot of space, so I came up with this. What I did here is I took a dog food can and I made holes with one of those tapered drill bits. And after I did it, I realized that I needed more air circulation here so it wouldn't smother it when I put my pot on top. So I ended up making these really big. But what I like most is that I copied the Ember lit and I made this little hole here. I did 4 drill holes, and then I cut it with a Dremel. Either a Dremel or tin snips. I think it was tin snips. And then I used hand files. Filed this and made it nice and smooth. So at first I load it up here with twigs, and then afterwards I feed it through here. And what I do is I take one of these, put it in here, spread out, you know. Twigs, light that up with this. This is where this comes in, because I light it down here. And these fire starters light up immediately, it starts burning, and then I just keep feeding it from under here. And you'll see pictures of it in a minute. And I love it. And the best part is it weighs next to nothing, a lot less than an Ember built. Made it myself, cost me nothing but some time. And look how it fits with rooms to spare. So then after I use it, I don't have to clean it because I just put it in here. Stuff this in here. Close it in the bag. Remove air from the bag. Close it in the bag. See, I close it behind and make some space. Start adding my stuff in here. Put this in first because I want to make sure that it'll go all the way down. It has to be in an angle. And then I start putting this other stuff in there. This can go in here. Gotta play with it a little bit. And then I put this in my pot. Okay, it'll surely close. Put this on the side because it doesn't fit in here. Maybe, but it's easier right here. There we go. If I get the spoon right, this will close perfect because it has this edge that needs to fit right here. See that? So that edge fits right there, and now it closes perfect. But the plastic bag and stuff is gonna make it want to pop up. So that's why I'm using this. And also so stuff just doesn't pop out. So put this in here. Pull it tight. Handy dandy. You see it tightens up really well. Just for grins, shits and giggles, I make my little slip knot. There we go. Just around it. I could chop it off the top a little bit if I wanted it to be completely, I may do that, so that it's exactly the same size, but it doesn't hurt anything. I take 2 rubber bands that also weigh nothing. If anybody's worried about the weight of a rubber band, man, got other problems. Put the rubber bands around it. And that goes straight into my pack. Beautiful. Simple, easy. And the reason I'm not using these anymore, these are a bit lighter than the can, but since I'm not carrying fuel, it's a no-brainer. It's not that much difference anyway, but when you factor in the alcohol, everywhere I go, I'm in Florida, so there's always twigs on the floor. So I don't need fuel. The fuel is always there. And even if I know if it's gonna be wet, either back home before I leave or on the trail as soon as I get there, if it's not wet yet, I'll just put a bunch of little twigs in a Ziploc bag and carry that. But never had a problem yet. So that's my setup. Hope it gives you some ideas. All right, have a good one. Okay, I said that it goes straight into the pack, but at first I put it in a gallon Ziploc, and then it goes into the bag. So I got a Ziploc around the actual stove because it gets nasty, it gets all dirty, and it will always smell a bit of like charcoal and stuff, burnt wood. And then on the outside I put this. So even though that lighter is gonna work anyway, and I have the ferro rod, if it got wet and it's in my pack, I figure might as well put it in a Ziploc bag and make sure it's not gonna get, nothing in there is gonna get wet. So that's my setup.